spell shit. Spell shit with the I, exclamation point.
I said we're live.
Oh, okay, cool. Let me get back on here because I'm sitting here cussing. Spell shit with the I, exclamation point. I said we're live. Oh, okay, cool.
See, now somehow I need to turn down because there's an echo going on.
Yeah, you got a full on echo.
Let me sort.
I can hear our whole conversation from before.
I sorted it out. Why don't I see a picture on it? It's just me on here. Like,
I'm not okay.
Hold on. I'm multitasking, so bear with me. You got it. Are you still there? You're sort of there. Okay.
Okay, my bad.
I didn't send the link to Valerie.
Oh, let me send it to everybody.
Okay.
So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna copy it and go into my text messages, sending it to this bro, sending it to let's see, sending it to Valerie. Where's she at? There she is. I mean V. Sending it to V. Sending it to X. Sending it to V3. Where is V3? And then so Valerie X V V3.
You don't have to like announce everything that you're doing or narrate. Like I mean, you're really good at narrating. I know that's things that you like to do, but I mean, honestly, you don't need to like announce everybody's name in your thingy.
I think you know that I said V3 and X, so it doesn't really matter. That's what they have on their screen when it pops up. So it's fine for me to introduce the people that I sent the link.
As usual, I'm having some technical issues, so just bear with me.
As usual.
Huh?
I don't want to say what as usual. Because
per usual.
I'm having some emotional issues today.
As per usual. Okay.
Did you say as per usual?
Yeah.
I've been going through some stuff, so
it happens.
Yeah. I'm lucky I'm not drunk right now.
I don't feel like I'm lucky that you're not drunk.
I'm never drunk.
Why are you trying to drink?
Huh?
You know, actually, I honestly would be out having a drink. I'm not being drunk because I'm not that type of gal, but
yeah.
I mean,
it's not being drunk is not appealing. But having a sip of something, you know, that don't sound so bad. Getting a little buzz on. Ba-bum. It is Friday.
All right.
Also known as Friday.
So whenever I get on here, it's like it's dinner time for me. So I feel like I can multitask a little bit and do some eating while you pull up whatever you're pulling up, or do whatever you're doing.
Well, I sent it to 4 people. As you can see, there's only the 2 of us. So 4 more people.
Hi, everybody. It's Friday. I can't believe it's already Friday. That's just been a long week, to be honest. So should I just I decided that, you know, a dating and relationship topic will be good to go. And the reason why is because I decided that because we're going into summer, and I always say I don't exist during the winter because it's like, who wants to go out? I don't like going out in the winter, but it's summer, and for me, that's like dating season. So I'm like, let me go out on dates, right? And so I went on a date recently, and for me, it's like, I know right off if I'm not interested in anyone. And I don't like, I don't get how people say that, women will go out on dates with people, just to get dinners and stuff like that. But it's like, I can't visualize myself spending another moment with somebody if I'm not interested in them. So then it's like by the time I got home, this guy had already like scheduled dates for the rest of the next weekends and so on. And then it's like, I'm not interested in this person whatsoever. So like, how do guys like men put down? Like, do I ghost this guy or
Right.
or
Well, then
the
thing is, like, I literally had a long conversation with the dude. So I recently went on a date as well. And I felt like on our date, like the guy was like, "Oh, this is the best first date I've ever had. Like, this is amazing. We're really vibing together. It was fun. The situation was fun. We went to art gallery, and then we went to a cocktail lounge, had some cocktails. It was pretty high end, and then it turned into a nightclub after. So we started dancing, but like we were really enjoying ourselves. But like during dancing, he started trying to put his hands on my, like I could feel his hands sliding down. So I lifted them back up, like, bruh, not going down. And then so he just pulled me in tighter to him and just started dancing. And then like, pretended like he didn't do anything wrong. And then later on, he kept getting more aggressive. And then so I told him after, like, I'm done, we're leaving, and we left. But then when I talked to him later, he was just like, "Oh, I'm sorry. I remember when you pulled my hand up, and so I knew at that point, what you wanted. You weren't, into that." And then I just kept going, and I was like, "Yeah," I was like thinking maybe you were drunk or something. So I was concerned. So I was like, because I was feeling him. Like I thought that he was cool. I enjoyed his company. He had me laughing and stuff. We were having a good time, but he was just being way more aggressive sexually than I was, down for. And then he acted like he was kind of drunk. So he was like, I want to get a hotel. And I was like, well, you can get one. I'm not staying with you. You probably should get a hotel. I will, follow you to your hotel, and then I'll go on about my business, because I never not have a car. I just, or at least I can Uber, but that time I actually drove. So I was just like, I drove to the first stop, and then we drove together to the next stop. And then so I was just like, I'll follow you so you can get, to your hotel or whatever. He got all butthurt because I got out the way I got out of the car, and just like he sped off. But then later on he called me and was like, so he was, trying to apologize or whatever. And he told me, he understood what he did wrong. But he didn't want me to be uncomfortable. And I was thinking about it. And I was just like, so he understood what he did wrong. Allegedly, he wasn't drunk, is what he said. And I was like, I feel like you were skipping steps, because like you're telling me that you want to be in a relationship with me, but it seemed like you just wanted to have sex. And he was like, no, that's not it. That's not it at all. I really like you. And it's like, if you really liked me, then you wouldn't have been pressuring me sexually. When you said you noticed that I wasn't feeling comfortable with it, you proceeded, later on to be more aggressive sexually. And then tell me that you didn't want me to be uncomfortable, but you said you knew that I wasn't comfortable, but you proceeded. Right. So you're, and then he was like, he wanted a relationship. Allegedly he wanted a relationship with me. And I was like, but you're skipping steps, because if you want a relationship, you get to know me, you hang out, you make sure.
I feel like the hookup culture has changed the dynamics, because I've gone on dates and that fast intimacy pressure, is what's present as well. But I really do feel like that's just literally the culture that we're in right now. Like that's the norm. So he was pushing your boundaries, and I do certainly think that when you made it clear that he should have, got the picture. Guys are idiots for some reason; they don't get the picture, and maybe they do get the picture, but it's still like. And I say that it's because it just, anyways, they're done.
But I understand what you're saying. I almost agree, but it's like when you tell me that you're a traditional man, if this is what he's saying, he's a traditional man. He likes to lead. So he wants to be very traditional.
You came on. You came for us. Okay, sorry. I'm just excited when I see B.
Yay! So now she's actually on it.
I'm waiting for her to complain and see something. Yeah, I'm not going to show up unless she says.
Yeah. So he, now I lost my train of thought, and I don't know what I was saying. But well, I feel like that if he really wanted a relationship, since he said he was traditional, he said that he wants to be a leader, and he thought he was dominant because like I said, he was very aggressive. If you're going to be a leader, you're going to be dominant, you're traditional, you're going to want to recognize when someone is feeling uncomfortable. And he said he saw that I was feeling uncomfortable.
I know, but guys,
can I finish? Can I please finish? So for the fact that he said that he saw that I was uncomfortable, but he proceeded, that means you're not a good leader, because you're not going to see that a person is uncomfortable that you're allegedly leading, that you care for, and you're going to proceed to only care about what you want.
You're trying to lead you into that bed.
Right. Which no one's going to be stupid enough to have a dude lead her if he's disregarding her feelings. Right. Because he's showing that he's disregarding my feelings, but he thinks that I'm supposed to allow him to lead me. No, sirree, Bob. That's not how it works. If I'm supposed to trust you to lead me, then I'm supposed to be able to trust that you care about how I'm being affected by your leading. But you're trying to lead me into having sex with you when I'm telling you I'm not ready to do that. You're disregarding my feelings. So clearly I can't trust you to lead me. Right?
100%.
Did you end up, so how did you end up ghosting him?
I told him,
telling him at that.
Right. I told him, we had a long conversation. He kept apologizing profusely and saying that he would never do that because he doesn't want me to feel uncomfortable. But I feel like we would have another long conversation, but it doesn't make any sense to have this conversation with me because he showed me his nature, and his nature was to care about himself over my feelings. So once somebody show you who they are, who cares about what he has to say at that point?
So you ghosted him, or you didn't? You said you had a long.
No, I told him to send me my videos because I looked hella hot.
Oh, right.
But besides that,
so you took the mission.
Right. It doesn't make any sense for me to pursue a relationship with him because he clearly puts his feelings over mine.
So you just concluded it by saying, because of this experience, I don't want to go forward with you because you've shown me.
No, I did say that kind of, but I mean, like I said, it was like 3 a.m. when we finished getting off the phone. So I don't know exactly what I concluded. He wanted to go on a date. He wanted to go on a date the following day. Mm-hmm. He texted me the next morning asking, and I didn't respond. So pretty much I ghosted him. But that's because I wasn't finished processing. Mm-hmm. I want to be, when I'm having a conversation with someone, I want to be concise. I want them to know exactly how I feel, exactly what is going on, exactly what I mean. And he was really pretty much pleading his case. Mm-hmm. And so I was listening to what he said, but I didn't have the time to process because it's in the middle of the night. And yes, I do hear what you're saying, and I respect that you're saying what you're saying. And if I wasn't going by, yeah, you said all this stuff, but your actions show differently, then I would have said, yes, okay, I'll let you. But it's like, you showed me your character. Right.
Right.
And so he said all these things, and I'm not going to talk over him. I'm going to let him spill his case. I'm going to let him say what he feels, how he, but I'm not going to let his words trump what I saw him do.
And I think that's a problem that people making mistakes. A problem women make early on in relationships, and that's a mistake. But I think it's great that you were able to tell him, see, I just ghosted this guy because my thing is this. I feel like if that guy hadn't shown you that he was misleading in terms of his character, then maybe you would have still dated him because you had fun. For me, it's like,
No, I would have. I still would have, because we had chemistry. We actually would have kind of had sexual chemistry. Like the stuff that he was doing was arousing, but it's like, I'm still not ready. So back the fuck up, right?
What I don't get, and I know that part of this is culture, but this is what I don't get with guys, more people in general, because it's like I had a date with a guy who was really attractive, and we had a great time as well, and I was like, this guy can get it, but at the end of the day, I still have a protocol. Like, I'm never going to.
You have steps, and you skipping those steps.
Even if I feel like I can, like, I'm never going to go on a date with somebody and anybody and it not be entertaining. And I know it may sound vain, but it's because if I'm there, we're going to have fun. And I really do get along with anybody. So I'm never going to go out with anybody and not have a good time. That's like, we're going to have good conversation because I'm going to be there asking them questions and contributing to the conversation. So I never can judge a date in terms of, if I'm having fun based on like the person there, because it's like mainly I'm there. So it's like things are gonna be good. But I feel like when guys try to be intimate too quickly, one of the things for me is like, I actually need you to know me, and I need to feel in my mind, whether it's true or not, that you're interested in me and want to get to this next level because you like who I am, not just because it's like whatever.
Right.
And when if I can't even be the delusional if you're like, on the first day, like how I can't be romantically, I can be physically attracted to someone, but I can't be romantically attracted to someone like that. It's like, no, dude, because I got to be convinced, and I ain't convinced. You got to spend a little more time convincing me, and that takes some work, because like, no.
I feel this. For me, I need to feel like I know you enough to feel emotionally safe with you, and that's quite a while. So if you're trying to be intimately involved with me, it's like, no, because I could be the wall.
Mm-hmm.
I could be anybody. So you're not trying to be intimately involved with me. You're trying to be just intimately involved.
Right.
And I don't know who you are. I don't know if I'm safe with you emotionally. And I can't be the real me. Because I could be anybody. Like, I could have, emotionally, you can, what I mean? For me, there's an intimacy is more of an emotional thing. It's an emotional.
You have to have an emotional attachment to someone and feel an emotional security with someone in order to feel safe enough to have intercourse with them. And that's because how are you going to know if they're going to protect you?
No, it's literally the closest you could ever be to another person. And I don't want to be that close with somebody that I don't know and that doesn't know me.
Right.
Like, it's just weird to me to just be that close to someone that doesn't know who are as a person, and you don't know who they are as a person.
And it's very suspect when there's like, okay, you just met me and you're really gonna go there with me. It's like, it makes me think that you're nasty as hell. I can't trust you at all, because it's like, really? I know I don't.
But guys think only women. Guys think only guys think that way.
You're this open. No, it's a turn off.
Guys think only guys think that way. They think that women are supposed to want a guy that's pretty much a hoe.
No, I don't want a guy that's ran through.
And me neither. It's like, what? No, because you can't wash all that off. I'm sorry.
If you ran through and everybody can just get it where they can fit in,
Right.
To me, a guy has no self-value. If anybody can just get that, why do I want it? There's no value to you. To me.
Right. I ain't even nasty. It's like, I look at you like a disease. Like, I honestly do. Because it's like, I don't even want your mouth next to me. Like this guy tried to kiss. That's like, why would I want to worry about Ben? That's disgusting.
And I
I
as much as you value you. And if every woman that wants a part of you, you're willing to give them that part of you, then there's no value to you. There isn't it. You don't value that part of you, that intimate part of you. So why should I? You giving it to me isn't special. It's just anything. So I'm good.
Yeah. But I really do want to know, like, how do guys like to be let down? I've actually felt bad about this guy because he did do everything else right. Like I like people who are go-getters.
I be assertive for sure, but if you're a leader, you're a guy and you're supposed to be a leader, then you should be filling out. And I sent my son this video because it was a lady and she was talking about how, consent is. And it for me, it's not just consent. It's about being connected and being in tune with the woman that you're with. And if you're in tune with her feelings and her emotions, you should know, not even if she just like, oh, okay, because you're giving this peer pressure and you're like, if a guy's just giving you peer pressure and he's like, oh, you don't, I just really, I'm just, I really want to do this. I just really like you. And you're peer pressuring her and she just letting you because she knows you want to do it. But you can feel that she's not really into it. She's not really comfortable. If she's not
ready,
enthusiastic about it, like she's not feeling really like she just really wants to be that close to you, there should be some enthusiasm. You can feel body is coming close to you. Like there's no way that a guy can't tell if she really wants to be with him.
Right. They just don't care.
Right. If a girl isn't, or a woman isn't showing enthusiasm that she wants to be with you, and you're still trying to pursue that intimacy, then you're not a safe person. You are not a leader. You are not.
Yeah.
And
you're a predator, pretty much.
Exactly. And I'm not going to be wanting to be submissive, and I would need to explain, because to me, as I told you guys, I feel like submission is something different to men than it is to me. To me, what other people are describing as submission is a subservient, like slavery kind of thing. But to me, if you want someone to be submissive to you and let you lead, you need to show them that your intent is to protect them and make them feel very safe. And that definitely needs to be to show in the bedroom or in the intimacy part of your relationship. And you need to show them that you want them to feel enthusiastic about being with you. And you need to wait until that woman feels enthusiastic about being with you. And if you don't know when a woman feels that way, where she's moving close to you, not backing away. If a woman is backing away from you
and moving her hands away and saying, and changing the topic,
or her body is stiff, and like, read the signs. Like, come on now. If you don't have the emotional
wherewithal, intelligence,
and maturity to tell when a woman's body feels like she is into you, you shouldn't even be being intimate. You're definitely not a leader, and you're definitely leading any kind of relationship. You need to go get some emotional coaching and get into some kind of, read some relationship books, and not out of the manosphere. Get far away from that.
that's trash.
therapy and some growth management, some mental and emotional growth. But no, you should stay away from women
Life
at that.
experience.
Yeah, life experience. Because like, this is the thing, like, I do think it should be taught when you're a teenager, but don't know it as a teenager. Not your parents not teaching you it isn't an excuse. Once you're an adult, then it's your responsibility to teach yourself. Or don't be around the other genders that you want to date, because it's simple knowledge if someone is backing up or they feel rigid that they don't want whatever you're doing to them.
Right.
Like, think about how you would be relaxed when you get in some warm water and that's enjoyable to you. Your body relaxes. It's like, oh, it's not like, oh, no.
Yeah.
If there's maybes or ifs, then that's not consent. Maybe if, kind of, okay, that, no, all of that means no. That means we're not, that's a no-go. No.
Right.
And you don't have leadership skills if you don't understand that.
Right.
And
It's like, if you can read the person, or if you can read body language.
Exactly. And it doesn't take like detective skills. That's what I'm saying. And if you're a guy that sits there and be like, oh, I don't understand women, or women are confusing, you don't have leadership skills. Don't ask a woman to let you lead. If you need to ask a woman to let you lead, you don't have leadership skills.
Right.
Don't ask. Realize that you shouldn't be leading anything, because the leaders don't need it. They don't need it. I've never been in any relationship where a guy has sat down and said, hey, can you let me?
You're gonna have to let me lead here.
Yeah, either you're leading or you're not. It's simple as that. If you feel that you are in a relationship with someone and you need to ask them to let you lead, that should tell you right there you don't have the skills to lead.
And everybody recognized that, including you.
Right. There's no question to it. If there's a question to it, then no, you don't have the leadership skills. You don't need to lead anything. You need to go sit down and read a book. So
on leadership.
yeah, that's just it. Did we talk about the different ideas of what submission?
No, we didn't.
Because I really wanted to talk about that, because I've been in these internet streets for a while, and I've just been hearing submission, and in the manosphere of what their ideas of submission means. And when I've been hearing it, I've been appalled, because it sounds like the same as slavery. And I never looked at submission as what they're talking about, because I'm not against submission. I used to think, oh yeah, okay, I felt like that's okay.
People in our family are naturally submissive. When we are able to get into our femininity, when we're able to rest in our femininity, but it's so hard to actually find someone that you can feel safe to submit to, because you actually have to feel safe to submit to someone, unless it's it's not submission if it's not safe. If someone is not able to safely submit to you, then you're being a dictator, and
Okay.
it's not submission. You're, huh?
Can we start by giving our definition of submission?
Well,
Yeah, go.
my definition of submission is when, it's when someone, or the couple, and I would assume, I mean, you can put any kind of situation, but submission happens naturally in any kind of relationship where there is a leader. where there is someone who is leading and being responsible and showing up, submission automatically happens. So what you see is,
You might comment that
Huh?
one of the people in the comment section said Lulu Lawson said, hold on, that wasn't, oh yeah, Lulu Lawson said submission is cooking, cleaning, washing, raising the
No.
family.
no. I don't
And
know. I mean, it could look like
Oh.
that.
Yeah, that's what people keep saying is submission.
I
And
don't think so. I think it can certainly turn up that way. It can
Right.
that way if
on you ladies to give me what you think, not what other
yeah,
people are saying.
I think submission is when you're when naturally takes place in a relationship where one person, I think submission can be the guy submitting or the woman. It's literally if the person who is a leader automatically shows up, sets the tone of the environment, and the other person sees that these are things getting done because this person is putting a budget together and involving me. Because it's not just taking charge, but involving the other participants as well. But say, I have this. This is my skill set. This is where I'm comfortable. I'm comfortable managing this. I'm comfortable managing this, and I'm bringing you in and letting you see that this is where I feel that we should go based on the collective information. As essentially taking management of the relationship and involving the other person.
That's not the submitter,
That
though.
would be my
That's the leader.
perspective of leadership.
Saying that
Submission. Okay, and so submission would be like the woman or the man or the other party saying, I agree with you or I don't agree with you, but since you've demonstrated that you are able to manage us or this, then I trust you and I'm going to see where it goes because you demonstrated.
And I will follow.
And that's what submission is, in
Right.
my opinion. So if he says,
I will follow.
our house will run better in
lead.
this way. I see these things aren't working, but I think we should do this. And the other person taking into consideration whatever it is that person's saying and saying, well, this is my opinion and this is what I think we should do. But overall, letting the other person lead, make the final say because they've shown that they have the best interests of the family, of the couple, of whatever. It can be a job.
Great,
So that's
thank-
my idea of what submission is.
What do you say, Ellen?
I agree with Onyx. In a less so with submitting, like she said, add an employee, we'll just say an employee managerial situation. The manager is the person who has proven themselves qualified to run the business. They have all the knowledge of what needs to be done, and so they will delegate other duties to the other people. And though that person, like if I, let's say I have a manager and they tell me to clean some top story windows, I'm not going to submit to that, to cleaning the top story windows, because I'm knowing that either the manager is outside of their mind and they think that I have skills or ability to do something that I do not have. I do not have the ability, so I'm not going to submit to that. So submitting to something will be pretty much saying, yes, I trust you to lead, and I'm going to do as you say. And so you don't have to be cooking and cleaning in order to submit to someone. That is a nurturing part of submission. However, if you're with a person that doesn't need that, so say you're with a billionaire, he needs you to cook and clean for him when he can have a maid and a cook to do that. So submitting to him would just probably be if he says, hey, I don't want you to go to these places, because in our relationship, even if in a masculine feminine relationship, like if I ask to do, I don't want him talking to women, he would be submitting to me by not talking to other women if I don't want him to do that. So submitting is just doing something that somebody else wants you to do because they want you to do it. That is what submission is.
Okay, that's a interesting Okay, Onyx, can you go in and pin Glowing's comment? Because I don't have any,
Yeah.
but I really like hers, and I wanted to read it after. So my definition, I think is definitely kind of like, I think for me, submission is definitely if someone is, and I say more of the guy, because I think for me in relationships, I only get it in relationships that are more male led. I think the man, the provider and the protector in relationships, and I don't get in any relationship that doesn't fall in that dynamic. So I think the man needs to be make enough money to provide, to pay the mortgage. If you go out, pay for dinner, should provide, vehicle, make sure that you
Vacation.
safe, be very patient, make sure you feel emotionally safe, physically safe. So when I look at submission, I look at it in a way where, like, for instance, if a guy's going to, if you're going to go on vacation, the man should book the vacation. If he's going to pick the vacation, he should be like, okay, do you want to go this place or this place? And then he's booking it. So I'm submitting to where he's allowing him to control paying the mortgage and paying the car note and picking the vacation spot. I'm deciding which one, but he decided which two.
The two to choose from.
The two to choose from. I'm submitting to allowing him to schedule the places, because I'm releasing control in a lot of ways by trust. I think releasing trust is submission. Releasing trust is when you're getting with a guy and allowing him to have, that's power. So releasing power is submission. Allowing a guy to have the control to find the place where you're going, that allows them to feel like a man. That's submission, releasing power. And I'm not saying you don't have your own money and your own, because I don't think any woman should allow a man to have 100% control over finances ever.
That's dangerous.
Never have done that. I would never suggest. I always argue against that. Do not ever do that. That is dangerous. It puts you in danger. Never do that. Always have your own bank account and always have access to your own money, your own passport, your ID, everything. Always. Do not let a guy isolate you from friends or family. All of that is dangerous. So, and that's why I say submission it needs to be controlled to a certain level. So it needs to be a safe level. It isn't about a guy telling you what to do and you doing all the laundry. No, that's not okay. I do think sharing housework, yeah. If we're getting in an argument, not an argument, because I think for me, I don't yell. I don't like to yell. I don't get in yelling matches. Pretty much. Yeah, if you're in a disagreement, I feel like you should negotiate with your mate. So yeah, you can get in negotiations. I think it's best to make both people feel safe when you're in a conversation, with your boyfriend or husband or something, if things start getting where it's yelling or something,
I pay the bills here. I make the rules.
no, that's enough.
That's the
If
problem.
guys have bills, good, you should be paying them.
Well,
So
some of these knuckleheads online, that's their sense.
yeah, if you wash the dishes and stuff, yeah, then that's fine, because I think a relationship should feel balanced to both people. So it's not like the guy's doing all the work or the woman's doing all the work, but it's not about, oh, you need to wash the dishes. Every guy that I've ever dated, we had, or even was married to, there was a house cleaner. But yeah, I clean up sometimes. We both clean up sometimes.
Oh, can we?
So I feel like there needs to be a balance, but the guy that leads the house needs to make you feel safe. Submission needs to feel safe, not one person lording over you. That person isn't in charge of you. That person isn't your boss. That person is the person that makes you feel safe, loved, emotionally safe, and physically safe. That is that person's responsibility. So the leader has a responsibility. Submission is something that makes you feel safe, not a response. Submission is not a slavery. Submission is not like a servitude. So that, to me, that's what submission is. It's something that allows you to rest in your femininity, not something that makes you an indentured servant.
And only particular guys, like some guys, I feel like most of these guys who are looking for someone to let them lead, those are not safe guys to be around. They don't qualify. And because the guys that you're talking about, isn't that's something that automatically happens. That's just part of their, it's not a discussion. Some of these things that have been happening, these conversations that I've been hearing, they're wild to me, because it's like, why is this even a conversation? Like, where is it that people are asking these questions about submission? I've never heard so many people look for someone to submit to. It's like, where these conversations are, I'm looking for a woman who's submissive, who's feminine. Like, how every woman is feminine. You can't be a woman and not be feminine. Do they not know what feminine is?
Can you read Glowing's comment? Because
So it's like all of these different, can I read Glowing's? Where is it? The one that's pinned?
Yeah.
It says it's a natural response to a positive, intelligent, strong, and empathetic leader. It can be at work or in a relationship. Their competence allows you to relax into their
fucking competence, nigga. That's exactly what I said.
So ninth born, can you please not curse and say the N-word, because
oh my bad, I didn't realize y'all could hear what I was saying. I thought I muted myself.
Yeah, I'm seeing a lot of those kind of conversations happening online, where there's a tendency to go into these discussions about finding women who will let you lead. Other conversations, and I guess we'll segue right into that, is the what do you bring to the table conversation. And I wanted to get B's opinion on this, but she left. So,
she escaped.
Yeah.
Once ninth born got on.
But the whole it's been bothering me as well. The what do you bring to the table? Like, I watched and listened to people have these discussions about what a woman brings to the table, what a man brings to a table, and it's like, how are we going backwards? Like, how are you getting into whole relationships, and not knowing what the other person brings to the table? And then I'll just say this, because I try to picture myself having this dialogue with someone, like if I'm going to dinner or whatever, if I meet, like, when does it come to the conversation of what are you bringing? And if somebody even brought it to me like that, what are you bringing to the table? It's like so insulting, for one. And that's just like, But the other thing is like every table is different, right? Tables are customized. That's a customization question. Some tables are already presented. Everything's already at the table. And that's usually the kind of tables I show up at. But just a second, because I'm gonna find out what's going on.
There was a video that you said you saw that broached that question that you wanted to.
I don't have that video, so I can't do any videos. I can't bring up any videos. I can't remember any videos.
You're still muted, Ninth.
I was gonna say something about your statement when men are like, "What do you bring to the table?" I think also about wanting submissive. Like to be real with you, most men they want submission, but they don't want a submissive woman, because a submissive woman is going to be submissive to everybody, and that's how you get these women who are like, "Oh, I got into this situation where I didn't know what happened, and now I just glucked on this dude because I was drinking too much because she got pressured into some stuff." But yeah, I typically don't like submissive women because they tend to be submissive to all men, and I like my woman to be submissive to me exclusively. And the thing about getting submission, when like, it's weird to me that men are fighting for submission, because like you said, if you prove that you're more competent than anybody, period, they're not going to fight you over anything. Like, we don't argue with doctors. When a doctor's like, "This is what needs to happen," no matter how most people, no matter how dominant you are, you're like, "Nah, bro, like, you're tripping. I don't think that's what's going on. Maybe we need to do this."
Oh, believe me, I do. I show up after I've done all.
Okay, listen. All right, how about if you and I are going on a trip? Do you know how to sail?
You mean sailing as in a boat?
Yeah.
I wouldn't get on a boat without doing some research. So like,
okay. But if you didn't know what to do, right? If you didn't know what to do,
if you found yourself on a boat,
the captain's like, "Yo, we need to do this, and that."
Of course.
Are you gonna argue with him?
I'm not gonna argue with the
exactly, because he's proved his competence, right? So you're not even gonna argue with this man, because you already know that he knows more than you. And that's the same how it should be in your relationship. If you're a man, you should already have demonstrated the type of competence to where she wouldn't even argue with you in the first place, because she already knows she don't know this. So like that's what I'm gonna say about trying to ask for submission. Like, that's weird. That's super. Like, that's super weird.
Can I comment on your submissive theme? So you said that you don't deal with a submissive woman because she would be submissive to everyone. Yes. That's not true, because we've already discussed that submissive, regardless to the kind of person, you have to feel safe in it. So that's not a submissive person that end up and doing things. She did that because she wanted to. It had nothing to do with her being a submissive person, because in relationships that I feel safe in, I am submissive. And that is because that is like my personality. I consider myself to be kind of a submissive woman. But I'm not gonna, even on a date, I'm not gonna submit to something that I'm not comfortable with. And I've made that very clear. And that's because I have boundaries. Even submissive women will have boundaries, and we will not go for stuff that is outside of our boundaries. So if that woman had boundaries, she's a strong person, you could still be submissive and still be a strong person. If you're a strong person and have your boundaries and know what you want, you are not going to just drink. "Oh, I drank so much and I did what this person told me to do because I'm a submissive." No, you're not. You're a pushover. That's not submissive. That's foolishness.
That's a submissive person. They're pushovers. They're submissive. That's literally, they just do whatever people say they're going to do or tell them to do. That's literally the definition of being submissive. So like, here's the thing.
No. Okay, I have to disagree. It's not about being submissive for those people. It's not being submissive, because if you're being submissive, you're still caring about yourself. You can be submissive and care about your desires and your needs as well. You're not putting everybody over yourself. That's what it is doing when you say, oh, I just drank and then I did what he did. He told me to do. There's a difference, you know, because
So
you're
you're
putting
saying,
everybody above yourself. You know, and submissive isn't putting everybody above yourself. Submissive is being smart
hold on.
enough to know, like you said, that this guy knows better about how to take care of me than me, so that I'm going to listen. If this dude is saying, oh, I don't care about how you're affected by this, I want this, and so you do it, that is not submissive. That's stupidity.
Right. I concur. Okay, so you guys, are you
Submissive, adjective, ready to conform to the authority or will of others, meekly obedient or passive.
Okay, so
Okay.
you said
Just
authority.
so this is
Who
that's gonna
assigned
be
him
the
authority
fundamental of
though?
what we're. That's
But
gonna
then
be the
still being
fundamental
stupid to
of.
not understand you
Hey,
have to
hey,
assign
listen.
authority over
Can
yourself.
we do this thing? Can we do this thing? Like if I'm speaking, you just wait until I'm done speaking, and then you speak. And I'll do the same with you. Like if you're speaking, I'll just wait until you're done speaking, and then I'll speak. Just because
When
it's
there's a pause, absolutely.
no, because that means you're sitting there and you're waiting for a pause to jump in and interject. You're not listening to
Exactly.
what I'm saying.
That's what.
And
Yes.
that's kind of disrespectful. Like not only am I listening to what you're saying, I'm also taking notes. Like I'm just saying, like as a very disciplined person, like you want to be disciplined and respectful to yourself, then you should show that you have the ability to remain quiet while somebody else is talking. Otherwise, you're just showing that you don't have any self discipline or self control.
No, what I'm showing is that I have almost zero disregard. I have very, very little regard to what you have to say. That's what I'm showing.
Yeah, that's why I said it's disrespectful. You're being disrespectful.
Right. So you said that that's is not self discipline. It's not that it's not self discipline.
Yeah.
It's disrespectful. Yeah.
It's the same. It's like a discipline. Like if you can't sit there and remain quiet for any reason why someone else is speaking, it's because you lack discipline. That's the only reason, or you have Tourette's.
So
Like
can we agree that self-discipline is something that you value, right? Something that, like, if I value being quiet for you because I respect you, that's self-discipline. But if I don't care if I'm affecting you in a negative way by jumping in while you're talking, then that has nothing to do with self-discipline, because my discipline for myself would be for something that I value, not something that you value.
That's not correct. That's not correct.
That is correct.
Listen,
Oh my
listen, I don't
gosh.
like
Okay.
that would be like me saying I don't value your sense of safety, right? So I would just do a whole bunch of shit that makes you feel unsafe, because like I don't care if you feel unsafe, but like regardless of how you feel, like self-discipline isn't just doing things that you want. Self-discipline is doing things that you don't want to do, or not doing things that you don't want to do.
Exactly.
That's
So
the whole
that's
point of being
it.
disciplined.
But it's based
So
off of self-discipline.
yeah, exactly. So listen. Like I said, self-discipline means doing something that you don't want to do, or not doing something that you want to do. You said
Based
if
off your values.
please let me talk. You said if you're waiting for me to talk, it's because you want to do something, right? Because you're choosing to be disciplined. When you don't let me talk, it's because you don't want to. That's not self-discipline, bruh. That's you choosing to do things that you want to do. That's not discipline. Like I said,
Okay.
discipline is either doing things that you don't want to do because you have to, or not doing things that you want to do because you can't do them. That's what discipline is. It's not doing what you feel like doing because you feel like doing it. Like what the heck? That doesn't make sense.
Right. So you clearly didn't hear what I said, and that's why I keep reiterating what I'm saying, because you keep not understanding. So what I said was self-discipline is me. If I value something, like I value not talking over you because I respect you, and then I will stop. But if I'm not valuing not talking over you because I respect you, and because if I'm just saying, oh, I'm not going to talk over people because I don't want to talk over people, or because I think that it's good for me to not talk over people, self-discipline is based off of your value system. So if I don't value not talking over you, it's not self-discipline that I'm not talking over you. It's me not valuing not talking over you. Does that make sense?
No, it doesn't. Because listen, here's let me read the definition of self-discipline for you. Okay.
Okay, go ahead.
What is the definition of self-discipline? The ability to push yourself forward, stay motivated, and take action regardless of how you're feeling physically or emotionally. You see that
Okay,
last part?
okay, so
Regardless of how you're
then
feeling physically
value,
or emotionally.
honey, value has nothing to do with a feeling.
Bro, I swear we just gonna be looking up words until y'all understand the meaning of words y'all using.
Go ahead.
The regard that something is held to deserve the importance, worth, or usefulness of something.
Exactly. That's what I
Okay,
said.
so listen. Now this is what I'm saying.
It's not a feeling,
I'm
honey.
saying, listen. This is what I'm saying. I'm saying,
And notice how you're
when
cutting me
you-
off. But yeah,
no. Well, how am I cutting you off?
because you finished your statement and then I responded to it and you started saying, listen, no, listen.
Yeah, well, I didn't finish my statement. I finished reading the definition so I can go into my statement, and then you started to cut me off. But it's all good. Mistakes happen.
But yeah, I feel
Anyways, this is what I'm saying. I'm saying if I'm out sitting out here, right, and I'm speaking with you guys, right, and I can't shut up. Like I can't stop talking to allow you to talk. For whatever reason, it's I'm not making you look bad. I'm not making you look like a fool. So I'm not disrespecting you. I'm disrespecting myself. I'm not having the self-discipline to allow myself or allow other people to talk. So it makes me look bad. Like I can't sit there and be quiet. It's just like I said, so I said it would be disrespectful to myself. Like you're being disrespectful to yourself when you sit there and you display that you cannot stay there and be quiet while someone else is speaking, or you cannot actually pay attention to what they're saying. It kind of ruins the chances of us actually having a meaningful conversation.
I'm glad you got your feelings out and your perspective. And I respect that. So do we want to go back to the topics that we were talking about?
Yeah, sure. Go to it. The submissive women or
Right.
versus wanting submission. And like I said, I don't like submissive women because submissive women are going to be trying to be submissive to every man around. I like women who are going to give me submission. But a lot of women don't actually know what that looks like, or have the self-respect for themselves to be able to give it.
So do you give a definition of what it looks like to be a non-submissive woman, and having the self-respect to give submission to I'm sorry, the man that they want?
Yeah, exactly. That's literally. All right, so ask that again.
Okay, so just paint what it looks like.
What a submissive woman looks like, who
No,
has
no, no, no.
self-respect for herself.
No, because
Okay.
you said you don't want a submissive woman.
Listen, I'm telling you. Wait, what? A woman who's not submissive, who's giving you submission. What that looks
Right.
like. Okay,
Yes.
what that looks like is like I see a lot of times women are posted on TikTok of how they operate in those situations when they want to talk shit, they want to say something back, but they don't. They just wait. They let him get off his anger or say whatever you're gonna say, and then they wait and they come back and they wait until the situation is different, till the energy is different, till he's not in the same mood that he's in, and then they get better results. They don't try to match his anger with their anger. What? You cut off.
That's conflict resolution. Oh, that's
Okay.
I just said that's conflict resolution.
Okay. That's also being emotionally intelligent.
So
That's in
sorry.
but that's in every situation. So when when guys see that a
Why is
woman
Gina
is
calling us
flipping
on
out,
WhatsApp?
she's super emotional.
Wait, what? What'd you say?
Usually, if he's emotionally mature, then he's not going to engage in that conversation. He's going to wait too. So would he be submissive at that time?
That's not always true. Just because you're emotionally mature doesn't mean you don't have accidents. You don't have moments
Okay, so
where
do you
you're,
not hear what
you're
I'm saying though? No,
so
if you're emotionally
listen.
mature
It
and
would
you
be
see
like
that,
this. How
and you're
about
not cutting me
this?
off.
So listen, we're both. Go ahead.
So if you're emotionally mature and you're in a situation with, say, your guy or your woman comes in the house and she's clearly very upset and she just going off, and you're a little bit upset too because something happened with you, but you see she's already come in, she's already on 9 and she's already flipping out. Are you, knowing that you want to be in a relationship and you see that she's already on 9, are you going to engage in that conflict, or are you going to say we're not having this discussion right now and you're going to come back to it later?
This is what I would do. Since I know I'm angry and she's angry, I already know the conversation is not going to go great, right?
Exactly.
But me being the leader, if I see myself as the leader, I'm gonna take it upon myself to eat that, to take the emotions that she's having, let her vent, say, yo, we're gonna talk about this later when it can actually be beneficial for both of us.
That does not look exactly the same as the situation that you displayed for the woman as submitting.
What? Yeah, bro. That's what I'm. That's
Okay.
the whole thing that I've been trying to get across women's head. Like every time we pull up to a stoplight, we're submitting. Every time I wake up in the morning and have to be at work at a certain time that I don't want to, I'm submitting. It's
I don't wanna be
everyone
that
submit.
guy, but like,
Women are
honestly,
submissive
can we
too.
move
They
on?
just for some reason don't want to be submissive to their man all of a sudden. Like it's so crazy to me. Like
Well, because guys aren't presenting it like that. It's the reason why the women have so much pushback to it is because guys are not they're not presenting submission as what it actually is. They're presenting it as, you are my slave, you are my servant, you do what the guys say because I'm the man.
I mean, I've personally never heard that.
Really?
I've heard them say, if you're giving me authority to protect you, you should listen to me. And that goes like, bro, if you're the president of the United States and I'm Secret Service, you're going to listen to me. You give me authority to tell you what to do. Get away from the window, Mr. President. Get on the ground, Mr. President. Don't go in that room, Mr. President. So it's like, if I'm your man, and I'm not no Andrew Tate fan, I'm just trying to elaborate on what he's trying to say. But if I'm your man and you've given me authority, bro, protect me, right? All right, bet. Wearing this type of shit attracts this type of wearing this type of stuff attracts this type of attention. You don't want it. That's what I mean. Like, listen to me to be safe. Not I have authority over you now because you're protecting me, so you gotta do whatever the hell I say. Like that
Right, but do you understand that there are a lot of guys that are using that submission theme as a way to browbeat and dictate over women? There are a lot of guys that do that, and that is why there is so much pushback. It's not because all the way across the board dudes are saying it exactly the way it is, exactly the way it should be. Because I mean, like I said, I'm not against submission at all. I'm not. But obviously, the reason why a lot of people are against it is because it's been presented wrong.
And
and they
don't qualify for it, and that's why they're asking
exactly.
They don't qualify for it. I'm over it. Can we move along? Because this is just
no. Here's the thing. I gotta say one last thing. If you have to ask for submission, you're not about to get it, bro. Like you might as well go look,
right.
go look for
guarantee.
somebody else. That's like me trying to submit somebody in jiu-jitsu and be like, yo, tap, please tap, come on, tap. Why won't you tap, bro? Just tap. Like, no, because you haven't presented yourself with the competence that would make me listen to you, period. And another thing that people have to realize, like they're saying that modern women have been defiled in a way. And I'll agree. But when you're attacking a civilization, you don't just attack women. And if they were just attacking the way women are.
Let's scroll it back a little bit. How do you think that's happened?
How do I think what's happened?
Modern women have been defiled. Like, how did that happen?
Oh, this is what I'm gonna say. Because you can't. Here's the thing: you can't just defile the women, right? Because if you just change the women, then the men, being in their natural state, are gonna change the women back to how they are, right? And vice versa.
Right.
If you just change the men, the women in their natural feminine state will get the men to act how they're supposed to, right? So in this modern day age, you have a lot of men who are cowards. And why are they cowards? Because I can say whatever I want to you, and you're not going to do nothing to me because I'm online. I can say whatever I want to you, and you can't. Twitter fingers. It's like men have gotten way too comfortable being able to like women. No, and I'm not trying to attack y'all, but they're like, oh, women are in our spaces, and they'll just say whatever they want to say because they know they won't get punched in the face. So will y'all. 100%. So will these men. They'll get on Twitter, blah 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 blah, and then
around the wrong friends.
What?
Yeah.
You said what?
You're hanging around the wrong people. But
no, it's not. I'm not hanging around people. I'm saying this is what I see. Like
okay,
this is what I see on social media.
Wrong websites. Now, can I just move along? Because
I'm trying to figure out who you know that's actually pressing people in real life.
Well, these are stupid people. That's what I'm saying. Anyway,
nobody exactly.
This is something that this is a different
Onyx. If I don't want to reply to something you said, instead of me being a man and facing it, I'll just block you.
I don't care one way or the other. But what I was saying is, okay, so this is the next type of topic / question. And I put this on there only because it annoys me. Because again, you have all of these relationship coaches coming up with these ridiculously weird statements and then going on about it. So men need respect and women need love. And then this is a statement. And then there's like supposedly logic to it. And it's like, okay, so women need respect and love. And I would assume that men need the same. So why are we?
Well, they're saying, I think what they're saying there is like for women, love feels like love. And for men, respect feels like love.
I'm sorry, say that again, please.
They're saying for women, like respect feels like love to men. So if you're not respecting them, no matter how much you allegedly love them, it doesn't feel like they're being loved.
Mm-hmm.
But it's like, what does respect look like to a man?
Oh.
It's all perspective. Each man has a different level of what respect looks like to them.
Not necessarily.
I don't know, because I've had way too many men that's asking for things that seems like disrespect to me. I'm sorry.
That's what I was gonna say. It's very interesting.
Give me an example.
It's interesting for me to hear that saying because like one of the biggest issues for me, like I'm very sensitive to if I sense that I'm being disrespected, like that's where I have a biggest problem, like in life in general. If I feel like someone's disrespecting me, that's a big problem for me. Like
absolutely.
Franklin even wrote a song and she's like, respect is important for women. So I don't know why it's like, and we don't feel loved if we're disrespected. Like that's
for sure.
Like, the love and in fact, if we're not respected, we sense that we're being disrespected. That's when love doesn't happen. Like we'll literally start shutting down.
Exactly.
And you will just see like things changing. And we don't even have to say anything. We'll just show you. But it's like once we start seeing the disrespect, it's like, okay, well, that's our love has dissipated once that starts happening. So this whole idea that men need respect and women just need love. No, women need love and respect. And those two things coincide. And I believe men need love and respect too. So I don't know why these ridiculous statements and conversations are happening. Bothers me.
It's happening. It's happening because you got a whole bunch of men giving advice on shit that they have no experience in.
Yeah.
Right.
Like all these men who are getting advice, ain't none of them married, bro. You ain't got no relationship experience. You guys were nerds. You guys were nerds, and you created a podcast to get clout so you can get women. So like you shouldn't be giving advice to anyone.
That's so true. Because I heard like this guy tell that he was doing a panel and the woman was like, well, where should guys go to, you know, find a relationship to, and he's gonna say to the gym. Guys
Here,
should go to the
listen.
gym to find a relationship. Like, can you like does he not register how creepy that is to women when you're at the gym? And like the guys are just
Women have made so many videos about how creepy it is.
like
Even on situations that wasn't really creepy.
yeah, and it's
I
like
see-
the guys giving advice to women and they're seeking advice from them. It's like,
Yeah. I was listening to this podcast. I'm not gonna mention the name. Y'all probably know it. But this dude, they're having an argument about submission, about women needing to be submission. And then in the same breath, I heard this dude say that a woman's orgasm don't matter. And I was like, oh, that makes sense. That's why you're not getting submission, buddy.
Exactly.
Because you think that way, and you literally just told thousands of men who are listening to you that a woman's orgasm doesn't matter. Like, yeah, bro, you're not about to get submission. Even if you have a submissive woman, bro, she's not gonna be submissive for long.
Exactly.
Yeah,
because
but
she doesn't matter. Her feelings doesn't matter to him.
Exactly. And that's how you know this man has no real life experience with women, because you would know that.
well, he probably does. He's just saying he doesn't respect women. He doesn't care. So,
But then you're not giving good advice.
Yeah,
Like
somebody will take him out of this world.
They're telling boys,
trash
you're telling men to get vasectomies at 20, like get a vasectomy at 20, bro. Like that's not, the doctor tell you those aren't supposed to be reversed. Like you shouldn't be looking to reverse these.
Right.
Like I think that what has happened is they literally start matching, which you should never ever do. A man should never ever do this. But I think they started matching energy with women. And that's why you have these podcasts of men talking about hot boy summer. They're getting they're getting lipo and stuff, bro. Yeah, they're getting lipo. Like what, how are you disciplined if you gotta get lipo? How are you disciplined if you can't run for 20 minutes a day?
Right.
Well, it's concerning though, actually, because you know, I was wondering, and I really am thinking that men are becoming like extreme, and Black men in particular are extremely feminine, and it's becoming a concern. And it's interesting because I just was listening to something, they were saying that they don't think that Black men have enough space to be emotional, to cry, vulnerable, and to show the softer side of them. It's like I'm not seeing that. I'm seeing quite the opposite. I'm seeing, and I've actually even had to turn off. I was watching a show, and I can't even watch it because the show it showcases like the two Black men are they're womanized. They're like, you know, wearing pink and twisting when they walk, and they're a couple, and they're like the diva of the, you know, the what do you call it when you know, there's the co-star, and then there's the person who like has to be you know, right beside them and just mimic what they do and be really divish. It's like I'm seeing like the portrayal of men on TV and even in higher spaces, like you have to be feminine to fit in in society and to be elevated into a prosperous position. I feel like in society, Black men are targeted to be feminine and to be essentially the Black woman, if you really want to go there. But that's what I'm seeing, and that's so it's like it's bothersome. But yeah, I really feel like the men but men in general, not men in general, because I feel like it's the opposite when you see how white men and other races are portrayed on TV, even with some of these network series. Did you see like there's this show? I forgot what it's called, but it's like the top 100, whatever, and there's competing. These are all men competing to be the most masculine. It doesn't say masculine, but physically fit. But all these are Asian and white guys. But then you have the other.
These are all Asian and white guys.
All Asian and white guys. There was one black
I've seen
guy.
that show.
There's
I know what
100
you're talking
people.
about.
100 people.
Yeah,
There's
you're talking
like
about the physical
one
100.
black guy, and all the other ones are white and Asian. And this,
But
this
that show's in Asia.
Huh?
That show is in Asia.
I don't know where it is, but
It's dubbed, ain't it? Ain't it dubbed?
No, that's
Like
not
they like they're not speaking their words. It's somebody
no,
else.
they're speaking their language.
Oh.
Anyways, but my point is, it's like I just feel like the portrayal of black men is moving more towards feminine. And
I mean,
go ahead.
I think you might be a little bit accurate on that. Mostly because like Nine said, where there's telling them about the hot dude summer, and they're telling them to be you know, a men's orgasm doesn't matter. You get you a submissive woman. But I like he said that their idea of a man is not really masculine in any way. Like the one that the ideal of the man that they're putting out there is actually
the ideal
more,
man is not masculine.
No, the idea, the dude that the manosphere is putting out there is not a masculine man. It's more of a diva.
By no means.
It's more of a diva than anything. You're trying to get people to submit to you, but you don't really qualify for that submission.
Exactly. Like I was watching one of these videos recently. This dude, like you said, they're not trying to have masculine traits, because there's this dude, he talks about how Asian women, they're the most submissive, go to Japan. He's on this podcast, and this Asian woman presses him. She's like, yeah, you call me fat, right? And he gets all flustered, his face turns red, end up walking off the show. And I'm like, how are you going to be giving man advice and you acting like a bitch? Because like, right, as a man, you're taught to stand on what you say. If you say something and somebody pressed you in real life, I did say that. Like, he should be like, I mean, to be honest with you, you look a little chubby online, and you could lose, like I said, you could lose a couple weight. I'm gonna stand on that.
And then even if he didn't agree with it anymore, he can say, yeah, I said that. However, I'm changing my mind. He should be firm enough in who
exactly,
he is.
Exactly. But regardless, stand on what you say. Don't be fake, bro.
Right.
Don't start switching up because you're getting pressed by a little Asian, the same type of Asian women you said are submissive. You're getting pressed by one in real life about what you said, and now you're choking up and had to face red, walked off stage. So yeah, they're not a lot of men don't have real life experiences with older men, like being taught and coached by older men. Yeah, so they don't really have that image of what to shoot for. So
and that's because they don't have their daddy in their life, though. Because if they had a dad in their life, they would have some older men around.
Yeah, 100%. But that's why a lot of men are just trying to figure it out on their own. And I don't blame them for it. I'm not like here's the thing. I'm not blaming anybody who is watching a self-improvement or a self-improvement channel and attempts to better themselves. Like, yeah, that's like, as men, that's what we should be striving to better ourselves every day. My problem is when I'm watching podcasts and these men are charging $500 to teach men shit that they got from a book, The Game. Like, I remember growing up as a kid and watching his name was Mystery on the Pickup Artist. I don't know if y'all remember, but and he would be teaching this outlay of how to game women, pretty much. Fast forward to like 15 years of it now, and I'm watching these fake gurus like charging $500 to teach it poorly when they're not even like. Here's the thing, like the moment you start to contradict yourself, I'm gonna pick it up. So when you drop a study and you're like, yeah, according to this study, women lie about what they want in a man, so we shouldn't take it serious. All right, women, we're gonna go around the table. What do you want in a man? What do you want in a man? What do you want in a man? All right, now I'm gonna argue with all those points that you just said. Even though my first statement was saying that none of that's true.
Right.
Like, so yeah, like you should be able to critically think that obviously there's a lot of BS going on if you're going against the fundamental that you just laid out yourself.
And that's what I was thinking when I was when you originally brought this up, because you were like, they're looking for something for self-improvement, but they're not using their rationale to understand that what they're being fed cannot be true by any means. And like, so how is it that you comprehended this stuff? Because you grew up in the same kind of situation as most of these dudes.
No, I didn't though. I didn't. Like,
no, but
here's the thing. Not only was our dad in and out of my life and gave me some very good tools, but I also had an older brother, and our mother made sure I was around men. Like I was in the Boy Scouts. I wrestled. I boxed. This means you're around a specific type of men who are going to hold you accountable. They're not going to be like,
so you don't think that these other men have these options, or was it just something that Ma did to make sure that you had? Because
yeah, see, I think it was just something that our Ma did to make sure that, I think, to be honest with you, because I can think back and like think about times that I was like trying to play Little Mermaid with y'all. So she probably seen that, was like, yeah, I need a hold on, let me
yeah.
Exactly. So I could definitely think back and be like, damn. So that's why she was making sure I was in the Boy Scouts. So I was leaving with this dude all the time. He was teaching me piano and stuff. Like she would constantly have me around men, and and she didn't even bring men to the house, but she would still
exactly
have me out there with him. Like I'd be with our granddad. He'd go take me to get haircuts and stuff. So like. I have a lot of masculine influence in my life where I can see that a lot of men, they didn't have that influence. So a lot of men are thinking extremely emotional. So because it feels good to hear this. It feels good that these women should
they're validating.
Exactly. So I'm gonna back it because it feels good.
Right.
But it's like, bro, you gotta look, like, here's the thing. There's a difference between phonies, heroes, and legends. And phonies are obviously faking to be heroes. Heroes are men that are doing great things, but they're still alive, right? So they still have life to live, where we can find out they've done some messed up stuff. Whereas legends, they're cemented in history for hundreds of years, like Sun Tzu, Sung Lao, Hannibal Barca. Like these men, they have guidance and influence that still reign true today. So like
the supersede of their life.
Like Sun Tzu, The Art of War, is still used. That manuscript of almost thousands of years, still used today. So it has a history of actually working out. Whereas none of these men who are giving advice, they don't have history of their advice actually working out.
Right.
And I peep that. I'm not stupid. I peep that. So like where I can see the pickup artist where you guys, Mystery, who the book The Game, written by Neil Strikes, was about. I can see where his teachings have gotten him, because he's still 50. He's 51 and he's still picking up women. I don't want that. I don't want to be 51 still out in the club picking up women.
Exactly.
Like so yeah, like I was always taught that if you want to get to somewhere, find somebody who already have gotten there.
Been there. Exactly.
And exactly. And watch what they do.
Yeah, and see, that's one thing that people aren't understanding. Like, there's been so many people that are like even following Kevin Samuels. Yeah, he said some stuff that made some sense, and he definitely hurt some feelings, made some people feel better. But if you look at where he was financially, he was at a good standing.
Yeah.
But the string of relationships that he had was trash. He ended up dying alone, like he was telling other people they were going to be.
Yeah.
And he
Yeah.
wasn't in a successful relationship while he was selling successful relationships.
Exactly.
And it's like, what? Why are you even listening to this guy? And like you said, they were doing it for their emotions. It was making them feel good. It was for validation. It was like, the reason why you're in this situation is because poor you, these women are horrible. The reason why
yeah,
right?
because they like seeing the women that turn them down getting dumped on. That's why.
Exactly. And it's like, if you just better yourself, then you could find a woman that wants to be with you. But instead,
the thing is, the reason why they're not getting women is because they put getting women on a pedestal, bro. Like, that shouldn't even be your focus as a man. Unless you're established, unless you have it. Are y'all established? Do you have it? Obviously not, because you're not getting women. Like, you don't see no men who are like on their purpose, and they're actually realizing dreams and actions, complaining about not getting attention from women. Like, it's crazy to me. And then you have you don't even need to be making money to get women. So like this whole 6 feet, bro. No, I be seeing baddies with dudes who are 5 feet ugly. It's just because they're not stupid, they're not awkward, they know how to talk. They're lightweight funny, bro. Like, you gotta actually have some type of charisma. Like, it seems like a lot of men want women to game them nowadays. It's like, that's not how it works, bro. And like, as much as I want to give men advice, like, I'm not. At the end of the day, we're all competing, and I still know that. And so do these other channels. They know we're still competing. All of us are competing with each other. So they're not going to give you guys real advice. They're gonna make you a competitor.
Yeah, no, you're absolutely right. And the thing is weird though, because remember, on one of Kevin Samuel's things, I don't know if it was Kevin Samuel's or of another show, where they had these women, and the women were presented by this engineer dude, and this engineer dude was like super handsome. He was very he made a lot of money because he was an engineer, and they were all saying, oh no, I wouldn't date him because he doesn't have a personality, he's lame. And it's like, what was the point of putting that out there?
Yeah, because they're trying to, because he was making a lot of money. He was an engineer, so and he was handsome. Yeah, exactly. So they're trying to prove that women don't want a good man.
Right, and that's baloney.
But realistically, what they should have proved is that being handsome and having money does not
guarantee you're a woman.
It don't negate not having personality. Like, you still gotta have some type of charisma. Like, I don't understand.
Exactly.
You can't, like, they'll be like, oh, they got these men who are or they'll be like, women will go after these men who are making 6 figures and then cheat with the pool guy. It's like, okay, if the pool guy's getting the same woman as the man who are making 6 figures, clearly you don't got to make 6 figures to get this woman, right? Like, exactly. See, that's what I'm saying. It's like rational thinking. It goes a long way.
People can't deduce things themselves. They can't seem, but like you said, they're feeding off of something that they want to hear.
Exactly.
Hey,
these are a lot. Hey, Xtina.
She pulled
These
up.
are a lot of men who wasn't getting no play, and they wasn't getting no play in high school, and then blaming it on the fact that they were playing. And it's like, bro, I was playing Yu-Gi-Oh, and I was getting a lot of play. So I don't like I'm trying to say, it's not the things you do, is you as a person, it's your personality.
Right.
Like, a lot of guys who are watching these channels, they're watching the wrong channels. Like, anybody who's like, yeah, you need to pay me $500 and I can make you into a prophet. Only I can do it. Like, these are false prophets, bro. Like, even me, if I'm like, yeah, you need me to do this stuff, you don't need me. Go read the book of the game.
Right.
Go read The Art of War. Go read The Prince by Niccolo Machiavelli. Like all the information is out there for you guys. So anybody who's telling you otherwise, like they're full of shit, for lack of better words.
They're trying to get money.
They're false, yeah, exactly, false prophets.
Hustling. Mm-hmm.
Like cite your shit. Like y'all hearing me cite my stuff. Like I'm a book nerd. I'll tell you where I got my stuff from. You go read it yourself if you don't believe me. And these are all from legends, men whose teachings and words have stood the test of time for hundreds and thousands of years.
Yeah.
A lot of people, unfortunately, if it's not as easy as the first page of Google in a highlighted
Exactly.
sentence, they're not about to investigate or research anything, but they're still down to tussle with you.
Which is weird. And I speaking of Google, because I can't stand how let's take the red pill movement. How they're like the Matrix. You gotta get out of the Matrix. Don't unplug from the Matrix. And then you guys are framing your life based off information that you're getting straight from the Matrix. Like all these
Right.
stats, all this information, all these searches. Like where do you think you're getting them from? So you have officially, or you have you've made yourself into an algorithm. That's what you've done, and you start living it out, being an algorithm out there. Like, bro, y'all some fucking agents.
Right.
Talking about the Matrix. Yeah, this why are you guys next to are y'all next to something you can Google something?
I
I
mean, I
can.
think we're all either
Okay,
on
look,
our
this I'm gonna simply show y'all how you
It
can't
better be on
trust
the first
Google.
page, though. It better be on the first
It
page.
will be with two searches. Search up where America got its name from. You find it?
I mean, it auto-populated for me. Amerigo Vespucci.
Viscosi. Yup. Okay. Now,
No, Vespucci. V-E-S-P-U-C-C-I.
okay, yeah, gotcha. Now, Google, what's Amerigo Vespucci's real name? Because I'm a nerd. Like I like to read and I like to
Americo Vespuccio. This is other names. Americo Vespuccio, merchant explorer, cartographer, demonstrating to the
you don't see
Europeans that the New
you don't
World.
see Roberto Viscosi on there? Because it should be there. I've done this.
You said Vervoto?
Yep.
Roberto, no, only
No. No.
Amerigo Vespucci.
Here, let me move my tab real quick.
Yeah, think about the internet.
Yeah,
You can
the thing
change
about
the internet.
is it changes.
I like books because you can't change the books. That's why.
No, I just did this the other day.
Amerigo Vespucci.
What is?
And then this is
Yeah.
Amerigo Vespuccio. First, yeah.
I don't like the way they look.
I know, right?
Come in.
My eye,
Facts checking.
my eyeballs. Oh, there's a giraffe.
Oh, there's
Aw.
a giraffe. Oh.
That was my niece.
Oh, yeah. Okay, so it just talks about Amerigo Vespucci was a 16th century navigator after whom the American continents are
I
named.
just wish he would get to the point because like, he said Google these
So why
things.
are
We
these
Googled them.
things
What
there?
it didn't come up what you wanted. So can you just tell us what it's about?
But what
Oh
are we
yeah,
trying to
yeah,
do?
you're right. It is different. But usually,
Yeah.
if you go into what American Vespucci's real name is Roberto. Is Roberto Vespucci, right?
Uh-huh.
So then, how is American named after someone who has a fake name? And why would you name?
Right.
Why would you give your a country the fake name and not your real last name?
Right. Yeah.
Oh,
It doesn't make any
it
sense.
doesn't. It doesn't even show it. Well, on Google, at least not the first page.
Yeah,
No,
that
so
is
your
that
point
is
is,
why. I literally just looked at this the other day.
your point is not to believe it.
My point is that you just can't, like, Google don't have all the answers. Like you if you really want to learn what the real world is like, you're gonna have to do more than just a Google search.
I agree with that.
You have to read some old books and go talk to some people.
Yeah. People these days don't really have time to be reading books and talking to people because they have to work to eat.
You said what, they got to work to eat?
Yes. It
Yeah,
used to be like you have to work
you
to
read books.
like be able to take a vacation. Now you got to work.
You read books.
I do read books. I do. But I mean, yeah, even when I was, yeah, you're right. You can, I mean, the thing is, a lot of people don't feel like doing research on their spare time like
But
we do sometimes. They feel like relaxing and watching cartoons or something, like letting their minds kind of veg out because they're stressed out because they are having a hard time paying their bills and they are in bad health or their kids are acting up. Like people
or
are
life
under
sucks a bit.
lot of,
But
I'm
we're
just
supposed
saying,
to be
people
talking
are
about
under a lot of
relationship
stress right
stuff.
now.
We're supposed to be
what
talking
were
about
we talking
relationship
about?
stuff. Can y'all hear me?
Oh,
We're supposed to
yeah,
be
you
talking
said
about
it
relationship
twice.
stuff.
Yeah,
Okay, good.
we got you. Well, you just
We
threw me off
talked
my mind.
about submission and what that looks like, other people's definition of submission, why they think people are so
To tell
opposed
you the
to it.
truth, I'm just okay. I was just gonna say I'm just so tired of even hearing about it. I mean, the thing is, the way relationship has always kind of gone for me is we didn't like you don't really have to. You do have to talk about things, but it's either you are a submissive person or you're not. Don't like try to be like either you are or you're not. Either you are a leader or you're not. If you're not, then find somebody that can lead. And
I
just
don't
because you're a
think
man doesn't, I feel like, and just because you're a man doesn't mean that you need to be like, you need to be the leader. Like, you just need to know who the fuck you are. And the woman needs to know who she is. And if people know who they were, they can say, I am somebody who I can support you, I can do this, but I need some leadership. And somebody could just say, oh, I want to be the leader of this, and I can do this, and this, blah, 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 this is how it goes. Then I think that's how relationships should work out. And I think that people would be a lot happier if they just went and had the relationships they were looking for, rather than looking for society so they can fit in some kind of weird peg, or I don't know.
and it's almost like you know how people say, what do you bring to the table? That is a term that people are bringing up right now. What do you bring to the table? And it's like, I bring me to the table, get to know me, and see if I'm what you need, if we mesh together, if we have what is needed to have a coexist, if we have what we need to coexist together. So
okay,
when
if
you're
someone
asking
asks you, if someone
no one's
asks
ever asked
you,
me that.
what do
I
you
promise
bring
you,
to
no.
the no? But look,
No one has
what
ever.
I'm saying is, that's why I
I
said
feel
if.
like
I didn't say when, and I didn't ask. I said
I promise you, there will never be.
So you don't even have to.
Because
You don't have to argue with it because it's literally just a hypothetical statement that is not needed. It's rhetorical, so you don't have to argue with it. Okay. So I'm just saying, if
so what are we
someone was
doing
to
if we're not
ask you,
arguing?
we're just discussing, having a discussion. You don't know how to do that.
No, but I'm just saying, why are you calling it an argument if I'm talking about
Because
it?
you keep
It's not.
interrupting me.
Oh, okay, sorry, go ahead.
I was just gonna say if people. Oh, I forgot what I was gonna say. Oh my goodness, I hate it when that happens.
Well, we were talking about people saying, "Bring what do you bring to the table?" And
if someone ever tells you what do you bring to the table, it's like you gotta kind of wonder, like, A, why are they asking you this? Like, what do you bring to the table? Like, is it a job interview? And
Or you should ask, what do you see in me?
and
Like, why
also,
are we
what
here?
exactly? What do you want? Exactly, what is it that you are
Why are
looking
we
for?
here, bro?
No, yeah. What are you looking for? What do you mean? What do I bring to the table? What are you looking for? Why are we at the table together?
Well, I wouldn't ask what I'm looking for, or because
Like, what are
then
you looking for?
a person can pretend to be that. But
Ew, why does well,
yeah,
that's
I
another
feel
thing.
like
Why
this
pretend to
whole
be
what do you
something
bring
that
into
you're
the
not?
I think this what do you bring into the table thing is a phenomenon caused by dating apps, because usually like I said, part of being like, if you want to be a man and you want to have submission is being a leader, and if you're a leader, that means knowing how to select your team and put them in the positions that they're going to strive in. So you shouldn't
But
have to ask somebody
I wish what you would
unless
say,
they're
like,
trying
part
to
of
see
being a
how.
man, because part of
I
being a
agree
man
though.
isn't necessarily being a leader, though. It's not
Yeah, I said
necessarily.
I said I said if you're going to be a leader, if you want submission, like you can't
Oh,
get
okay.
submission if you're not a leader. That's going to be bad.
Yeah, that's gonna
Like
be weird.
who's going to run? Like yeah.
They're gonna have each other on leash.
It's the blind leading the blind.
Yeah.
It's the blind leading the deaf.
Yeah, I think that is a dumb question. What do you bring to the table? I think that's just
I mean, that's
that's
just a job interview.
that's just to see like how self-aware you are of yourself, because
It sounds
like
arrogant.
I don't know,
and,
like
and,
because
and
I've
rude.
noticed that like women don't really know what they do for you, even if they're doing it. Like they can't
Articulate
articulate
it.
it. Yeah.
Ooh,
I can, but
I can
I'm not
articulate
gonna
what I
tell a
do.
dude, because if you don't know
No,
this, if
I
you can't tell, the reason why I'm not gonna tell a dude is because that means you don't appreciate me. So if you can't see what I'm doing for you, then kick rocks, because you don't appreciate me. You're either stupid, you are inappreciative, and you don't value me. So kick rocks.
I'll tell
I don't
you
need
one
to
thing.
tell you what I do for you.
I've
If you
never had
can't
to.
figure that out on your own, then move on.
I've never had to tell anybody what I did for them, because
Me neither. But it's like,
like
if you're
they'll
that
tell
slow,
me what I do for them.
Yeah, right.
Right.
And they'll
Because
thank me for
that's
what
why.
I do for them.
Otherwise, why am I fucking with you if I don't know what you bring to the table?
exactly.
Exactly. It's just like
That's what I was saying.
But I
Like,
agree. I agree with you, Nine, that it's because of the dating app culture, where people put, their qualifications pretty much for being in a relationship. This is me, this is what I have to offer, and if you want me, you swipe right. If not, then swipe left, and then
so
if
that and rap music.
what? Right.
I said that and
I
rap
never
music.
heard a lyric about what you bring to the table.
Oh, okay. Let me find something then.
I mean, I don't listen to a whole lot of rap nowadays.
Yeah, I'm gonna grab me my
I listen
phone.
to
All you have
audiobooks,
to do is put it in YouTube.
No, that's easy. All I have to do is watch. Oh, give me a second. Oh.
But yeah, it's silliness. But I do agree that that's probably where it came from, because in the swipe culture, you kind of want to know. And the thing about it is, even if a woman writes in her biography what she brings to the table, a dude swiped right when he saw her titties. It's like, he saw cleavage and he swiped right. He didn't even read her bio. So that's why he's stupid enough to be asking what she brought to the table. That's why he's stupid enough to be asking what she brings to the table at the table, because he didn't read her bio.
You might be right.
If those titties are out.
Right. I know, because I'm actually on dating, and I'm reading people's bios, and a lot of times they say some crazy stuff just to see if you're actually, like this dude talking about he had a time machine. And so I confronted him about that time machine. I literally swiped right because he had that time machine. And I'm like, run me the time machine, because I know that I got somewhere that I need to be.
You were like,
ooh,
a lie. Tell me a lie. tell me sweet little lie. You were ready for that lie. You were like, man, he's
He didn't
blatant
have
in
no
his
time
lies.
machine. He didn't have no time machine.
Obviously.
I believe in possibility. I believe that anything is possible. And I'm not gonna turn
I got
down no
some
time machine if
beans.
you got one.
I got some beans that I need to sell you, and let me tell you
I'm
that
not gonna buy
these
them
beans
if
are
they free.
matching. Well,
Show me. That's what I'm saying. Show me. I don't go by just people's words. I need to see. Show me. Show me these beans in action.
I'll show you the beans, but I mean, you're gonna have to pay me and wait for
This
to
is show me
get
in
them
action.
Exactly.
Like I'm gonna
Hey,
pay
that's
to see something.
I don't know what y'all was talking about, but that's like the realest statement ever. Show me these things in action, in action, like how they apply to real life. Not you just saying it.
Right.
these
Right.
beans.
Yeah. See, I honestly, I think that's why I'm different than a lot of men, because like
I wouldn't waste my time with
I
them.
grew up in wrestling and boxing, right? So like we actually had to apply the teachings that we were taught. It wasn't oh yeah,
Exactly.
bro, you do this, you'll take them down for sure, 100%. Then you run that as soon as that, and you're submitting, guaranteed it. So it's not. I always say that the difference between cockiness and confidence is cockiness is
Believing you could do something and knowing.
Cockiness is the idea, whereas confidence comes from experience. Cockiness
Exactly.
is like, yeah, bro, I can do this, I'll do that. Whereas confidence is like, no, I've done this, bro. Like this dude's tried that, I've done this. A person do that, I'll do this. I guarantee you, bro, you're not ready for that smoke. That's the difference between cockiness and confidence. And a lot of men are just cocky. Like, and a lot of people in general, men and women, are just cocky. That's why they're saying a whole bunch of shit that if you apply it to real life, it's not going to work out.
Right. And the thing is, though, and I for some reason, I've been watching movies, and you notice how you see a movie and you see them do something, and the outcome is completely different than what it would actually be in real life.
Well, yeah.
And I'm thinking maybe that's why people are just, just saying, oh yeah, do this, do that, because it's like they're showing you the beginning of it, and then they show you the outcome, and the middle part is like, no, that would not happen in real life. That would not be outcome.
Yeah,
but people
I know
are just believing it. Right. It happens so much in like all movies, literally,
and
nowadays.
Life imitates art, right? So as soon as people start seeing stuff in movies and videos, they're gonna believe that's true. That's why people think majority of the world is white, because they see it on TV.
Right. And I think it's like a weird kind of programming that's going on. They're just making people stupid. And we're not thinking on our own. We're listening to people's words without seeing if it coincides with their actions and actually makes sense. I was telling Onyx and V earlier about a date that I went on, and a dude was acting like really grabby, and he thought he was a dom, right? He thought he didn't say he was a dom, but he said he was traditional, and he was, a dominant kind. And I was like, oh, okay, that's cool or whatever. But when we were dancing, he started trying to, ease his hands to my butt, and I moved his hands up. And so he behaved like he had some sense for a minute, and then later on he got real stupid again. He kept, I would check him, and then he would get stupid again. And I was like, okay, this date's over, we're done, and we're leave. But it's like, then later on when we had a conversation, he was just like, I really want to be with you. You're just so sexy. And I was like, yeah, were you drunk or something? I thought he was drunk, so I told him he needed to go home or whatever. He was too drunk. He should go to a hotel. And he was like trying to get me to go to a hotel with him. And it's like, yeah, no, sorry, bro, not going down. I'm going home. But he was like telling me that he wanted to a relationship, but I felt like he was skipping steps. And then also he told me that he was a traditional dude, and that he didn't want to see me uncomfortable. So he wanted me, the last thing he wanted was for me to be uncomfortable. And I'm just like, but your actions aren't really corresponding with what you're saying, because you said
that's because men lie to get boxed. So they typically tell women what they think is going to get them boxed.
Right. And I know that. but I'm letting him know that I understand that his words and his actions aren't matching up. So we're not going anywhere further from here because I can't trust you. You can't tell me that you're a traditional dude and that the last thing you want to do is have me be uncomfortable. But then you said you knew that you had made me uncomfortable because when you were trying to ease your hands down and I moved them up, and then later on you tried to pull something again. So you were
That's why
completely
you have to take a
disregarding my
sap with
feeling.
you.
What?
That's why you need to take a sap with you when you go
A
to
taser?
a blackjack. No,
A
You
taser?
need,
not for a
you need
blackjack.
a blicky. Get you a 9mm.
Oh my
I'm not
god,
gonna be
y'all.
shooting people.
Listen, yeah,
Trust
ain't
me,
nothing
a
to get a man's respect like filling up on a woman and filling her Glock. Like, oh, hold up.
You know what really get a man's respect? Waking up and realizing he got hit in the head with a sap.
What a what?
A sap. You know the little saps they
A
have
sack?
the sap, SAP. It's a
Oh,
blackjack. You know what? I wish I could share an image of it to you guys. Just
But my entire point is like he was trying to convince me that it was the last thing he wanted to do is to try to make me uncomfortable. But then he acknowledged the fact that he knew that he had crossed a boundary when I had moved his hand from trying to ease his way down. But then later on he tried to do it again. So it's like you're telling me something and you're doing something different. Like I acknowledged that and I brought it up to him, but it's like, I'm not going to see you again because you're clearly not traditional like you said you were, because a traditional person would not be trying to push me into doing something that I clearly don't want to do. Right. But he was only thinking about his needs and his desires.
I mean, traditionally, yeah, they were pretty much trying to run down on
Like,
you.
what era are we talking
No. Well, wow.
I'm just saying.
Okay, yeah.
You said traditionally. You didn't say morally or respectful.
He's not acting like he want to be in a relationship
honestly,
with me. He not.
As long as no one's looking, he's been traditionally accurate.
Not when you're saying that you're looking for a submissive, because you don't. A submissive means you know that I need to feel comfortable to submit to you.
He's just looking for somebody to shut up when he says
to bone.
Shut up.
Exactly. He was looking to bone somebody, and I made it clear that. And you're telling me you want a relationship, but your actions are showing you just want to bone.
Yeah, he's saying he want a relationship because he thinks that's what will get him into the box.
He's like, hey, this is how I be in a relationship. Like, this is how I do relationships.
Yeah, I'm like, no, sorry, bro. You're skipping steps. They ain't going down. Get the hell out of here with all that.
Oh, shit.
That's what you said.
But yeah, they be acting stupid.
I'm trying to.
They be acting stupid.
Yeah,
sorry, you will not get a second date.
Women will lie to get resources, men will lie to get box. Because women don't.
Now, how do you think women lie to get resources?
Yes, this is the one I'm saying.
Give me an example. I gave you an example of somebody trying to get some. Give me an example
Cardi
of
B
trying to get resources.
Cardi B, the chick that just got caught, Cardi B.
Oh, she just got caught.
I don't know what you mean.
That just happened to her again? Recently?
No.
I was gonna say,
so
damn.
you know how Cardi B
yes.
compares how she used to drug dudes and rob them.
Yes.
Okay, boom. That's how
she used to what? Drug dudes and rob them?
A woman just got caught doing that, drugging dudes and robbing them. So
yeah,
that's a clear example of
you know what the funny thing about that? You know what the funny thing about this is? Her saying that she was doing that. She wasn't by herself when she was doing that. Girls didn't do that by themselves. Duh. No, she was not by herself drugging them. That wasn't happening. There was dudes involved.
He thought he was about to get a three-way.
There were dudes involved. Once the dude was drugged, they would come. But yeah, no, it's not. It wasn't just her though. So
they can get their pumps in.
Yeah, it wasn't. It wasn't just her. So it's like there wasn't dudes involved. Yeah, that's how she felt protected. Yeah. But anyways,
Yeah, that's
Um,
crazy.
I'm trying to send
So they got the
this
thermal game.
dude. I'm trying to send him this picture of this. Okay, my break is over, so I'm gonna have to go. I just
Your
wanted
break?
to,
Wait, what do you mean
yeah,
your break?
because I'm out here cleaning. I mean, I'm out here cleaning and fixing up because we're gonna move to Riverside. And well, oh my god,
Remember?
like I'll tell y'all about it later.
Okay, not a break because you're not at work, but whatever. It's a
Be
self-assigned
quiet.
break.
It's about giving myself a break. Exactly. I'm on break. I didn't say someone just is gonna beat me if I don't get up and start working. Oh, I'm so scared, y'all. I said
Your see her submission kind of awkward.
Hey Siri, set an alarm for 5 o'clock.
I'm just so scared, y'all. I gotta get up and start.
Talking about the difference
No.
of submission and dictatorship. It sounds like you're.
Did you see that? 9.
What?
Did you get that?
Get what?
The blackjack.
What blackjack?
Do something in the chat, I think.
The picture, because I needed you to know what it was, what it looks like.
Oh, hold on.
And inside it's lid. No, I sent it to. Oh, I sent it to your phone. What? Oh, I can send it to inside of
Here?
Zoom.
Yeah.
Is what I should do. Okay. Let's see.
Y'all are being boring, just so you know.
Oh,
She gonna go ahead and mute herself. She's been boring. I expect you to be more excitable, not mute
no,
yourself.
I just.
She's like, I'm not here to entertain you,
That was
so.
accident. That was actually
And
an
then-
accident.
I feel like Onyx just went to sleep.
Let's go.
And mine is just playing a video game. So I'm
Are
gonna
you playing
go
a video
anyway.
game? Are we done?
Well,
We
I
are
mean,
so
Onyx is supposed to be leading
The moderator?
conversation. Yeah, moderating.
Yeah, I think she got off. She said she was tired about a half an hour ago.
So she just went to sleep? Because that's kind of hilarious.
I don't know if that's what she did, but I know she said, I don't know, I can check on that.
I want to share this photo. Yeah. Okay, here it is. This is the photo. Oh, and I want to share that one. Those are a couple of photos.
Oh,
do you see it?
is that something that would smack people with?
Yeah, do you see it?
I'm offended. So what do you do
and
with that?
that's just a little, that's a meme that I made for people when they want to get mad.
Do we whack people in the face with that?
That if you hit somebody in the temple with that, when he wakes up, he'll realize that wasn't okay.
So so there's like a metal ball in there. I
No,
want
temple.
one of those. What are those called?
It's steel. It's a blackjack.
Yeah, I'm gonna order one.
I think it's lead or something.
That's what I thought she was talking about, like that mafia.
Oh, but
yeah, sap, blackjack, sap.
But through metal detectors.
I don't know.
My church has metal detectors.
Why are you taking it to church?
Just in case people
church
get
got
that
metal detectors?
Yeah,
because you have about that life.
Hold on.
A church that's about that life.
Right. Did you say your church has metal detectors?
How many people of no color have walked into churches full of black churches and shot them up?
Oh, well,
I guess that makes sense.
Yeah, it's a black church.
No.
It's a high-end black church, but they ain't playing.
That's why there's metal detectors, because they're.
It's not for the congregation.
Exactly. That's hilarious.
Yeah, I don't trust it.
Well, it's the Pacific Northwest. You really should not trust it.
Yeah, why is this so hard to? Damn, man.
Oh my god, my allergies are killing me back here.
I can't believe Onyx really passed out.
I don't know if she's passed out.
Let's ruin her.
I'm assuming that she is.
Well, what time is it at where she's at? So, but anyways, as I said before, I have to go.
All right, love
Well,
you.
it seems like we probably all have to go since I'm there.
Bye.
Love you later. Bye.
Love you
Bye-bye.
later. Bye. Bye.
Bye, I'm 9.
Oh, bye.